Karoline Leavitt. The left pretends to be a champion of women until they find one who is a conservative.
Karoline Leavitt, the rising conservative star and newly appointed White House press secretary, just dropped a bombshell that has sent shockwaves through ABC and The View. After Joy Behar made a stunning, out-of-touch comment about Leavitt's career, claiming that she only got her job because of her looks, Karoline didn't just sit back and take it. No, she went straight for the jugular, firing back with a lawsuit so massive that it could change the entire landscape of the media world.
Well, first of all, let me just set the record straight. It is a privilege to cover this White House. It's a privilege to be the White House press secretary.
And now, well, the fallout is here, and it's ugly. ABC is reportedly scrambling, desperately trying to manage the crisis as insiders claim that Joy Behar was left with no choice but to step down. But what exactly happened? And why is Karoline Leavitt so sure that The View had to fire Joy? This drama is a wild ride, and you don't want to miss a single detail.
Because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
Yeah.
Because women were not invited to that table.
All right, let's set the scene. The View has been no stranger to heated debates and spicy opinions, but this latest controversy, this one takes the cake. Joy Behar, one of the show's most outspoken and controversial hosts, decided to take a swing at Karoline Leavitt during a recent episode. And folks, it was bad.
Democrats and the media are now unloading all their nasty attacks on rising Trump White House star and new press secretary, Karoline Leavitt.
Leavitt, at just 27 years old, had recently made history as the youngest ever White House press secretary. Her resume is stacked, with experience working in high-level Republican campaigns, and even with the Trump administration's first term. But instead of focusing on her accomplishments or her qualifications, Behar chose to reduce Leavitt to nothing more than her appearance. Joy's words? I think she's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10.
I think she's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
Wait, what? Yep, you heard that right. Joy Behar, who prides herself on being a feminist icon and champion for women's rights, claimed that Karoline's career was based on her looks, not her skills or qualifications. She completely dismissed all of Leavitt's hard work, reducing her to a shallow stereotype.
Sexist against sexist, rogue against rogue. And it's very hard for them to go after each other because they're both guilty about the same things.
The moment Behar made that comment, you could feel the tension in the room. The audience gasped. Even some of the other co-hosts looked uncomfortable. But the worst part? This wasn't just a throwaway line. It sparked a massive backlash that would quickly spread across social media and beyond.
Now to the cackling witch herself, Joy Behar from The View, whose jealousy is something to behold.
Social media exploded with criticism in the aftermath of Behar's comments. Fans from all sides of the political spectrum came out swinging. People were livid. One Twitter user posted, "If a Republican had said something like that, they would be crucified. Joy Behar just proved that The View only supports women who think like them." Ouch.
We are not going to allow rogue bureaucrats in this city to obstruct the will of the American people.
But that wasn't all. The internet had no mercy. Karoline Leavitt wasn't going to let this slide. Instead of issuing a simple statement or brushing it off, she went for the kill. She filed a $10 million defamation lawsuit against Joy Behar and The View, accusing them of intentionally spreading false and malicious information about her.
Today, when those comments got passed around, even Whoopi Goldberg could not agree with the outlandish remark of Joy Behar.
Leavitt's legal team wasted no time. They argued that Behar's remarks weren't just hurtful, they were part of a broader, coordinated attack on her character. And this wasn't just about personal offense. This was about a systematic effort to destroy her reputation in the public eye. The lawsuit immediately gained traction. Leavitt's supporters flooded social media with hashtags like #JusticeForKaroline and #ShutDownTheView. people from all walks of life were rallying behind her, praising her for standing up to the media giant and demanding accountability. The media had crossed a line, and Karoline wasn't going to let them get away with it.
Constitutional crisis taking place here at the White House. I've been hearing those words a lot lately. But in fact, the real constitutional crisis is taking place within our judicial branch.
Now, behind the scenes, things were getting messy. The backlash was so intense that ABC executives were reportedly in full damage control mode. Internal emails began circulating, revealing that network officials were scrambling to figure out how to handle the situation. Some were pushing for a public apology from Behar, others suggested a suspension, and some even hinted at the nuclear option, cutting ties with her entirely.
So when I was fired the last time from this show, people say to me, were you okay with that? And my answer is, I was happy.
The pressure was mounting. ABC was now facing a full-blown public relations nightmare, with many people calling for Behar's removal from the show. After all, this wasn't the first time Joy Behar had been embroiled in controversy, but this particular incident hit harder than the others. The lawsuit against her was serious, and the reputational damage was undeniable.
Well, ABC News has agreed to settle a defamation lawsuit that Donald Trump filed against them. The network will pay Trump $15 million, which will go towards his presidential library.
Some insiders claimed that ABC executives were worried about the legal ramifications. Could they be liable for Behar's comments? Legal experts weighed in, with some arguing that Leavitt's lawsuit had a solid foundation, while others questioned if she would be able to prove malice, a key element in defamation cases against public figures. Regardless, the pressure was on, and ABC was in a real bind.
That you didn't have to worry about this. And now to hear you talk about it and to hear anybody talk about the wokeness was put in place for a reason.
And here's the kicker. The hypocrisy in all of this was glaring. Joy Behar has spent her entire career positioning herself as a fierce advocate for women's rights. She's frequently used her platform to call out sexism, gender inequality, and the need for women to be treated with respect in the workplace. But with one careless remark, she threw all of that out the window.
The reason to go to work.
No, we've been friends a long time. I'm teasing Joy. I'm teasing you.
Because you were not the backstage friends. I was talking about backstage.
I know.
Behar had spent years criticizing anyone who dared to undermine women, yet she turned around and did the exact same thing to Karoline Leavitt. The irony was hard to ignore, and the public, they weren't having it. One Twitter user nailed it. Joy Behar's entire career has been about empowering women, but one comment about Karoline's appearance completely erases all of that. This is why nobody trusts the media anymore. Ouch. Talk about a fall from grace.
It's a very exciting day because President Trump made a bold promise on the campaign trail to make America healthy again, and he is entrusting.
But it wasn't just the public who was calling out Behar's hypocrisy. Some of her co-hosts on The View, who usually have her back, started to look visibly uncomfortable when the comments were made. Alyssa Farah Griffin, a former Trump staffer and co-host of the show, was quick to defend Karoline, pointing out that this wasn't her first job, it was just her first White House press briefing. But it was clear that the damage had already been done.
That's what the Democrats do. They can't stand on policy or solutions, so they attack you with personal smears. But it's not just the Democrats in this race, Tucker, that are attacking me.
Karoline Leavitt didn't just sit back and let the media tear her down. She fought back with everything she had. Her legal team wasn't just going after Behar's remarks, they were going after the entire structure of The View and its parent company, ABC. The lawsuit wasn't just about personal injury. It was about sending a message to the media. You can't just destroy someone's reputation with malicious lies and expect to get away with it.
All of them, because they illegally broke our nation's laws and therefore they are criminals as far as this administration goes. I know the last administration didn't see it that way.
In an exclusive interview with a conservative outlet, Karoline doubled down on her criticism of Behar, calling her comments not only sexist but deeply unprofessional. She made it clear that her position as White House press secretary wasn't handed to her. It was earned through hard work and experience. and she wasn't about to let Behar's ignorant remarks undermine everything she had accomplished.
I'd like to know who you're going to vote for. Who are you voting for?
Who I vote for is none of your business, but I am not voting for Trump, and I'm sure as hell not voting for Bloomberg.
For Karoline's supporters, this was a victory. A victory against the biased, unfair media that often targets conservatives. The lawsuit wasn't just about her. It was about all the people who had been unfairly attacked by the mainstream media. And Karoline wasn't backing down.
You're leaving The View? Are you getting a little nostalgic?
No, not yet, because this is vacation time anyway. So maybe in September I'll have a nervous breakdown, but right now I'm enjoying the whole thing.
Then came the announcement no one saw coming. Just days after Karoline filed her lawsuit, ABC confirmed that Joy Behar was leaving The View. The official statement was vague, saying that Behar had decided to step away, but insiders were quick to reveal the truth. ABC executives had effectively forced Behar out to protect the network and the show's future.
You know what? She may be a 10, but she didn't get the job because of her looks, and anyone who has observed her at a briefing can figure that out for themselves.
This wasn't just a regular departure. It was a direct result of the lawsuit and the public pressure surrounding Behar's comments. The View, once a staple of daytime television, now finds itself in a precarious position. Without Behar, the show is left with a major void. Will they find someone to replace her? Or is this the beginning of the end for the show as we know it?
That's exactly right, John. If you listen to those words, those are from Democrat Party leaders who are allegedly still beloved by Democrat voters today.
Public reaction to Behar's exit was mixed. Some cheered, celebrating her departure as a victory for accountability. Others mourned the loss of one of the show's defining voices. Either way, The View had just lost a key player in its political debates, and the show would never be the same.
I like presidents who haven't been helped by the Russians.
So, what's next? For Karoline Leavitt, this lawsuit has catapulted her into the national spotlight. She's proven that standing up to the media can have real, tangible results. Her victory sends a clear message to other public figures. You don't have to take the media's attacks lying down.
Guys, let's act like adults here. They are generously offering their time to answer your questions. You don't need to scream at them like a bunch of school children. Ouija, go ahead. Thank you very much.
As for The View, well, the future of the show is uncertain. With Joy Behar gone and the network in full damage control mode, the show will have to work hard to regain the trust of its audience. Will ABC try to balance the panel with a more conservative voice? Or will they double down on their liberal narrative? One thing is for sure, this scandal isn't going away anytime soon. The media world will be watching closely to see what happens next.
But my point is that job would not maybe have been open to her.
No, I understand. I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah.
Now, it's your turn. Do you think Karoline Leavitt did the right thing by filing this lawsuit? Should ABC have done more to hold Behar accountable? And what does the future hold for The View? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Celeb Titbits for the latest updates on this explosive story.